Hello and welcome back to the channel. I just wanted to make a video and give you a report of the trip that I did to San Salvador, El Salvador, a couple weeks ago. I have been reading about El Salvador for a while, as has many people, about how their president, Bukele, has been working to clean up the country, make it better, safer for the citizens there, and improve the conditions of the country for everybody. So I've been reading about his progress. I've been hearing about how safe it has gotten there, and I've never been to Central America yet, so I was looking at places to go. So I just took an opportunity to buy a package to go to San Salvador for a few days and escape the winter and the cold in Maryland for a few days. I think I went for 5 days overall over a holiday weekend. To check it out. And when I got on the plane, I was actually surprised because there was 44 rows on the plane and they were all packed, 3 rows on each side. So I thought El Salvador was a kind of a random place to go, but apparently it's kind of popular. And then on the flight coming back, it was, I think, like 33 rows, and all of those were packed coming back to the States as well. But anyway, this will be my first time there, so it was all new to me, so I'm just going to tell you everything that I discovered and came across on the way. So flying from Maryland, it was 2 hours to Atlanta. I did a short layover, and then it was 3 hours to San Salvador. And flying into the country, it was very pretty. Looked like pretty beaches, which I did not get to visit. It's nice and green. And when I got to the airport, it was a nice looking airport. Looked new, looked modern. Of course, not huge, but big enough. And I'm sure they're working on expanding it as more tourism comes and more people want to check out what's in El Salvador. So they shuffled us to immigration, of course, and when you get there, it had a list of countries, which the United States was one, where you had to pay a fee of $12 at immigration to enter the country. I didn't take a photo of the list of countries because usually in immigration and other airports they're kind of weird about taking photos in the airport. So once you pay the $12, you go to another line. And in that line, they check your passport, ask you how long you're going to be there, the usual questions, where your hotel is. And that part only took about, because I just walked up to the front of the line, so that probably took about 2 or 3 minutes. Standing in line to pay your fee to get into the country takes the longest time. So once you leave the airport, you just exit outside into this kind of courtyard. There's a few restaurants out there, so I've been texting a travel group that I'm in before to see what the best way was to get to San Salvador from the airport. So somebody sent me some kind of local cab app, but then another person just said Uber. So I just thought I would try to use Uber there. So I didn't know exactly where the pickup was, but it looked like when I opened the Uber app that it was kind of right there. So opened up the app, put in my destination, and a Uber came within 2 minutes of me doing that, so I didn't have to wait long for that. And the total ride from the airport to San Salvador was $31, and it was about maybe a 30 to 40 minute ride, something around there. And there's not much to really see along the way. There are some good views of the city as you're driving in, but that's kind of about it. And once you get to the city, when you're going along the interstate, there are some like I guess maybe Maya markings along the interstate that they've incorporated into the sides, into the concrete of the road there. So that's kind of interesting. But the hotel that I stayed at when I got there was Terra Bella Hotel Boutique. I read about this hotel, the reviews online, because I use Orbitz a lot, and some of the reviews said it was kind of noisy at night and they couldn't sleep well or anything, but I really didn't have that problem. I heard a little noise from the from the restaurant next door. It was kind of like a Japanese, a Korean barbecue or something like that. But usually at the end of my day, I was kind of so tired that I really didn't care because I was out doing stuff. So it really wasn't a big deal for me. And it was a nice hotel, very well located by the Zona Rosa. So maybe a 5-minute walk to that, not far at all. And they have a very pretty receptionist there at the hotel that works in the daytime, so that's a plus too. But it was my room was nice, had everything I needed. I just wish sometimes when I travel that they would have a mini fridge or something in the rooms. That's not something that I find a lot in South America when I go to Peru, Colombia, but that would be great for keeping water cold and things like that in your room. So maybe I just need to find something to take with me, to buy a bag of ice or two and just something portable and foldable that I can put in the room for those kind of purposes, because cold water is definitely good to have on hand. Excuse me. Now, some of the things that I did was, of course, I went out and explored Zona Rosa. There's a couple of malls nearby. One is pretty much fully stocked and has restaurants and things, and the other, I think it's the President's Mall or something like that. It's still being worked on. So there's still stores going into that. So it might be a while before that's done. And of course I love art, so I go to art galleries and art museums everywhere I go, so I did that. But I can tell you right now that at night I was a little disappointed, and this was my first time in San Salvador, so I don't know where people hang out, where they go. I heard a lot of people go to the beach on the weekends, so I didn't do that. There's another place that a lot of people go. I can't remember the name right now, but it's like at the World Trade Center in San Salvador. So I'm gonna have to do some more research and find out where people go, where maybe there's salsa dancing and live music, but maybe they don't do that in El Salvador much. I don't know, but if you know, please let me know, because the Zona Rosa was dead on Friday and Saturday night. I mean, dead. Nothing going on. Empty clubs. Clubs were open. Music was playing. They had some couple karaoke bars, but it was nothing going on around that area at all. I went out to eat in 2 or 3 restaurants over there. Get some. I ate steak one night. I ate steak a couple nights over there, and so, but it was still kind of dead. I did on a Saturday. Was it a Saturday night? No, on a Sunday, I just left the hotel and I took a left instead of a right, and I just walked to see what was there. And I passed a lot of residential neighborhoods, and they were nice, middle class / rich folks living behind walls, gates, and razor wire. And there was a lot of restaurants and businesses that way. So I wish I had on a Saturday just walk that way and see what was going on up there. But when I asked the hotel staff about things going on, they didn't have any idea at all. So that really wasn't a help. But I did do the touristy things when I was there. I did the Santa Ana Volcano hike, which was very strenuous. I thought that I was in pretty good shape because I walk about 3.5 miles 3 or 4 days a week, even though it's winter time, so I haven't been doing that as much. I go to like Planet Fitness and do some treadmill with little weights. When I've done like boxing classes and stuff, and been to gyms just to do like initiations, they say that I'm in pretty good shape. But that hike up the mountain was pretty strenuous. It was 8,000 feet, 6 miles total, even though it feels more than that because of the terrain. You get to a rocky area where it starts to get hard to ascend, but it's definitely worth the hike for the views. So if you do it, I don't know if I'd do it again, but I did it once and I survived. It was 2 hours and 20 minutes up and 2 hours down, and I'll post a video of some of that. Might not be very long, but I'll show you what that's like. The tour guide was great. It was definitely an all-day thing. They picked us up at 6 in the morning, and I think we got back at 4:30 in the afternoon, but we did stop and eat lunch along the way. So that was an interesting thing I wanted to do. I wanted to do something when I turned 50, but I didn't get to do that because I wanted to go to Ecuador and do that, but as you know, there's a lot of stuff going on in Ecuador. So I took this opportunity just to do that there. I did do, so that's, I think, the only planned thing that I did. I took an Uber to, from my hotel one day, I just walked to the art museum and checked that out. And that was interesting. It's small. Of course, it doesn't have a lot of treasures like the National Gallery does here or the art museums in the States. But it's a small museum for a country that size, and they have paintings that are relevant to them from the Civil War and I guess people leaving the country for that and how that affected the country and families and all of that. And I wish I had known that the woman there was an actual tour guide. I didn't find that out until the end when I was leaving, and I asked her a couple of questions, but I wish I had known that she was an actual guide for the museum, because she was pretty too. But she did take me around and show me some of her favorite paintings in the art museum and asked me what I saw and what it actually meant, and explained things to me and about one of the female artists that was there and how she was like a famous artist and had an impact on the collection and all of that. So that was interesting. And from there I took an Uber downtown to the center of San Salvador, to downtown. And I got there, and that was interesting. It's small too. It has like the church, the National Library, the old presidential palace. So I did a presidential palace tour. Looks like that they were having the ending of some kind of fundraiser run down there, so there was a lot going on. And that area's in the main square. It's pretty clean, but as you get off on the side streets, 2 or 3 blocks over in any direction, it gets a lot dirtier, and a lot more, with real people just making pupusas, selling stuff, the markets, all of that kind of stuff. So that's it's safe and it's cool to explore. There's plenty of police presence everywhere, as there is at night as well. So you feel pretty safe, and there's no problems walking around. Nobody's really worried about you. They got their own daily and nightly business that they're taking care of. So they're not really worried about you when they're hanging out in bars and restaurants and eating ice cream or whatever. So that's cool. I did not make it to the beach, because once you I did go to the the Devil's Mouth, and that was about 20 to 30 minutes from San Salvador, and it's a place that they've renovated. It was closed down a while, so you can get views of another city high up. But the thing is, it's like if you're going to the Puerta del Diablo or El Trunco, the beach, it's easy to get there with Uber, but it's harder to get back because of the coverage, the cell phone coverage and stuff. So it takes a while to catch your Uber back. So I'm just warning you right now. If you're gonna go there, hopefully you know somebody there, or maybe you rent a car. I don't know. I don't know anything about traveling in a foreign country at all, but I'm just telling you the struggles that I had, and then other people actually told me that, yeah, if you go there, it's easy to get there, but it's harder to get back. So that's just letting you know. But the tour guide explained that the beaches have like gray or black sand because of the volcanoes, and they explained to you that San Salvador has a lot of volcanoes, 178, They actually have a Bitcoin mining operation on one of the volcanoes. And he was telling us how El Salvador, the government gave everybody $30 in Bitcoin back in 2019, but they didn't know what to do with it. So they've been trying to educate the people on how to do with it. He said that they had free healthcare there. Of course, they have private as well, but the free healthcare even covers tourists like us, he said, that were visiting in case anything happened. So I guess that was good to know. He said they have at the Bitcoin mining operation, they have a new, what are they called? Veterinarian vet hospital for animals, and how cheap it was if you pay in Bitcoin. He told us about his dog being sick, and the dog was there for a couple weeks, and it was ended up being like $17 or something. But they ended up having to let the dog put the dog down because it was just in too much pain with the disease that it had. But he said he thought it would be more, but it was only $17 in Bitcoin. So, and you can actually use Bitcoin at McDonald's there to buy food, because when I went, the day that I got there, I was kind of hungry. Nothing was really open till 5:30, so I was just like, I'm just gonna hit McDonald's and get quarter pounder, and don't judge me because that was all that was open. So I was waiting till more of the restaurants open to get something more balanced and substantial. So I did do that. I did speak quite a bit of Spanish, like at intermediate level. The tour guide, of course, spoke great English. But other places not so much. The woman at the art museum, her English was pretty good. I guess I'd say she was intermediate too. So I told her my Spanish was intermediate, so we just kind of made it work. So that's cool. But it's I don't know, my experience in El Salvador was, the weather was great. It was 90 degrees every day. It wasn't humid. Everybody was pretty nice. I took a box of moon pies, because I don't know, just started taking some kind of dessert from Tennessee, because that's where I'm from, for the hotel staff wherever I go. So I took moon pies and goo goo clusters and gave them to the hotel staff, and they enjoyed that. They said it was delicious. I'm not big on marshmallows, but hey, other people like them. But the goo goo clusters, I can deal with that. Let's see what else. People were pretty friendly. The businesses, it is a lot of fast food businesses there, U.S. fast food businesses there in chains. The tour guide for the volcano explained to us why, because they switched over to the dollar. So it was just cheaper for a lot of American businesses to put businesses in El Salvador and help expand the economy there. So the official currencies there, as you know, is US dollar and Bitcoin. And there's a third, but I don't think they use it that much. So you don't have to worry about exchanging money when you're there. If you want to spend a lot on dinner or food, you can, but you don't have to. You can spend anywhere from $5 to $30 for a meal on one person. That's like a steak dinner. So yeah, $35 bucks. That includes wine and a tip. If you want to do that, if that's a good price for you, hey. Let's see. But all the businesses there were clean. The dollar store that I went to was like a Japanese dollar store because it was organized, clean. You could find everything. I was just so surprised because a lot of places in the States, they look like unorganized and trash. And so that was nice. He told us you could buy a house outside the city for like $30,000 depending, and inside the city $75 to $100,000. You could get a house, so that's pretty good. If you have a fully remote job that you can work, I'd take that deal all day. The only thing you have to worry about is the 2 prisons, that there's no massive prison break and nothing ever happens with that. So that's a danger in the country that they have kind of sitting there that you gotta kind of worry about, but that hasn't happened yet. So hopefully Bukele or his successor in the future keeps all that under control. The people were pretty happy when I asked them about the situation and the crime and everything. They were pretty happy with all the improvements and that they can hang out at night and feel safe and work and not be extorted and all of that. So overall, I had a good time in El Salvador. It was quiet because I didn't know where the people go to hang out. Maybe they do house parties and hang out together with friends. Had no problems getting to the airport and back. When I got back to the airport, it was about the same, $31, $32. The other Ubers that I took were about $45 average, really. So that wasn't bad either. So of course tipped them a little bit more. Let's see. I think that's about it for my El Salvador adventures. I'll post some videos of the mountain climb that I did, the Puerta del Diablo, and maybe some random stuff. I plan on, if nothing bad happens, going to Lima in March for my birthday for a few days. I do that every year. And then we'll see how that is, because I love Lima and look forward to going there every year. But I think that's pretty much it on El Salvador and my time in San Salvador. I did pick up a bottle of rum at the airport. I don't even drink rum, but maybe I'll have a party sometime or give it to somebody as a gift. I don't know. Just trying to, stimulate the economy a little bit in El Salvador while I'm there, because they seem to love their president, his pictures on t-shirts and mugs and things of that nature. So so let me know your thoughts. If you know where people party, where the ladies hang out in El Salvador, let me know. If there's dancing, salsa down there, let me know. Because next time I go, I'll be interested to get a little more into it and into the flow. So talk to you next time.